Are we singing today?
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring up an update for many people out there who had heard of or know about the MV Realty issue that happened. So there were multiple states that were actually involved. So this was a real estate company that was licensed in our state of Ohio and did have activity here in our area, as well as I believe it's North Carolina, Florida, and some other states, right? So the idea was that they went around and they basically were agents otherwise were knocking on doors and offering to, at a future date, sell the home for the particular family member or the person who answered the door, the homeowner. And what no one realized at that time was that this company was offering the homeowner payment for the right to be able to list their home.
Is that legal?
Well, it's definitely questionable. But the bigger concern is that hidden in the language of that listing contract that they used, so not the standard typical realtor-based contract for listing, right? They had their own version of a listing agreement that they were contracting with the homeowner to list their property for 40 years, that they had the right at any time to, if and when the homeowner decided to sell, that they were required to use MV Realty. Now,
use that specific agent or just the company?
I'm not sure if it went down to the level. Obviously, the agent who is signing this is representing that they're going to be part of that transaction.
But what if they're dead?
So many things could come up. Then, if the agent is gone, it's still the listing of the brokerage. So that's the technicality there. It is a brokerage listing with the agent who's acting in the fiduciary role. I don't know if they did additional paperwork. I don't know if they signed agencies. I don't know if they did all the things that would typically be involved when you are actually legitimately listing your home. You as the seller, contact me. We meet. We go over the terms. You know how the period of the time for this contract is going to be. You know what your costs and obligations, all the things, right?
And usually it's like 90 days.
Or 6 months. Sometimes if it's a slow market or if it's a very specialized property, you may do a year.
Yeah.
Never anything really longer than that because it just doesn't benefit the parties to be tied up, right? But no one was reading the fine print. And so multiple, like over 900 people in Ohio did this. And here's the thing. If I'm contracting you, you're asking me to list your home. I'm not paying you money as the homeowner. I'm going to pay money to do the marketing and the advertising, right? That's why I get compensated the way that we've agreed. But the idea that they were paying the homeowner for that right.
How much are they paying?
So it was anywhere between $300 and $5,000.
Damn.
So obviously you're a homeowner. Hey, I'm really, somebody knocks on your door and they say, hey, we're in the neighborhood. We're just looking to see if you're interested in listing your home at this time or sometime in the future. We want to be the person to represent you. Oh, well, I'm not interested. I don't have any plans to do that. Okay, well, we're offering a special right now. I don't know if this is how this went, by the way, but I can imagine, right? If we're offering a special right now where we're giving homeowners $100 if they are willing to allow for us to, when you decide, list your home. A homeowner's like, well, sure, I'll take $100.
So did that come out of the commission then?
Don't know if that language is identified in there. I don't know if it was in addition to. What happened is that enough people had something happen where they forgot they signed it. A homeowner listed with somebody else. And then the next thing they knew, they were sued by MV Realty, who was saying, hey, we had a valid, agreeable contract for up to 40 years that if they were going to sell the house, we were going to get commission. And they were getting paid commission even though they weren't involved with the sale. So
how does that work?
It's a big deal. It's a big issue.
Does like both agents get commission, like the one that actually sold it and the one that has the right to sell it?
So that is going to depend on the language.
And where did the money come from?
Then you got money coming out of the seller proceeds or out of the seller's pocket or potentially you've got attorneys that are getting involved and lawsuits, and now who's the injured party, right? So this
Yeah.
thing really spanned up. And when it was found out, I believe Florida was the first to file the lawsuit, and their attorney general reached out to, hey, we see that this company is listed. And I remember, like, is that really a company in our area? And dang if it wasn't. It was in our area. So
Where were they based out of, though?
I don't know where their home base was. I don't remember the details on that. But they were pretty active in our area.
Oh.
So 947 people in Ohio were in these agreements. And so here is the reason why we're bringing this up, is because through all of this, first of all, a 40-year listing agreement is not reasonable. Any court would throw it out.
What time frame did all of this happen?
So now we're in the last of the phase. So all of these court cases have taken place. All the states have filed their claims.
Well, I mean, like, were they knock in 1990 or
No, this is all
2008?
Yeah, this is all 2015 is what I think I remember when it started really coming up. So what's happened now is that all of these states have filed and all of these actions are taking place. So if anybody out there says, that sounds vaguely familiar, or worse, hey, maybe you want to check with your elderly parent who may have signed an agreement for something, like we find out when they do a reverse mortgage, somebody in the family usually doesn't know that they signed up for it, right? Check your paperwork, because there is a special clause right now where they're saying if you notify us, they being Attorney General of Ohio, that if you notify us, we can get you out of this. This is a one-time walk away, not get involved with all the nonsense type of stuff. So I just wanted to make sure, once again, I remember WHIO did news specials on this. There was a lot of
How do they
pushback.
know that there's 900 and whatever in Ohio?
So they would be able to pull the documents from the agency to say, where are these listing documents and how many cases do you have?
So were they the listing contract like filed with the recorder or something?
No, a listing contract isn't filed with the recorder, but if you have a complaint that's lodged against you, if you do something that maybe is questionable and a consumer says, I don't like that, I think you're wrong, that doesn't protect my interests. So there's a whole process where the individual can file a complaint. That forces the state, our real estate division, to get involved. And at that point, they're going to say, we have a complaint, you need to provide us all of your documentation. And in this case, I would imagine that MV Realty had something claimed against them, and now they have to submit all their documentation. And if state says, we want all of your listing agreements from January 1st, 2015 to today, and they get that information, then they are able to see how many of these are in violation of what is typical standard practice. And then that information could be relayed over to the state level if that was also asked about.
Gotcha. Okay.
So reasonably, this is something that anybody could really dive into and find that there is recourse for. And again, you don't want to take advantage of somebody if the language isn't clear. Again, then you have a problem, right? But I think it would be very off-putting, first of all, if you were the homeowner and somebody says, well, I understand you don't want to list your home right now. How about if I pay you $500 for the right to list it when you are ready? Have you ever in your life heard of an imagined situation like that?
If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
There you go.
So is this MV Realty still trying to do this with homeowners?
No, they've been put out of business.
Oh.
So
Okay,
my
they
understanding is that all cease and desist orders were enacted, and every state that they were involved in was like, nope, shut it down. Does that mean somebody doesn't take this idea and go branch it out in a different
way?
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing with hacking and scams, is that it tries it in one area and then it'll go to another. I just think that the bigger PSA, we'll call it, is to the individuals out there. Read the fine print, and you should absolutely understand, how long am I signing something up for? Why am I getting money, or why am I being charged money? Those are all reasonable questions to ask. If you don't understand it, nobody should force you to sell your home. Nobody should force you to sign an agreement, right? No matter how much pressure out there.
Yeah.
It's just if you are looking for services, then I understand. But somebody door knocking and coming around and trying to sell you some bill of goods is probably questionable at first, and then you want to verify at best.
So door knocking, is that a thing in this area? Because I see it on like Selling Sunset and all of my, trash realty shows on Netflix.
Yeah, I don't know. Selling Sunset really doesn't go out and door knock, let me tell you.
That's what they say.
Yeah, they say it, but you don't ever see them on other episodes going out there. That's always the people they know and the celebrities they run around with.
Right.
Yeah. So real estate is a relationship business, right? But you get to that point after you've gotten through the hard knocks, after you've done your time, right? And you've gotten some business added up to where now you've referral. But is it more
now like you send out like a targeted ad to a neighborhood?
Yeah, so it's a digital door knock, right?
So it's not really like you're like,
yeah.
Like on Enough. Do you remember that movie?
Yes.
Where he walks up and he was like, I want to buy your house. And he's like, it's not for sale. And he was like, are you sure? And he hands him the paper.
Hands him the money? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is this mindset of actually going out and walking your neighborhood. A lot of agents will do that in neighborhoods that they live or that they're familiar with, so that, hey, I'm always in your neighborhood. I know that I sold a house around the corner. They're bringing that perspective when they do that, right?
Is that called a pop by?
It is a pop by.
Okay.
Usually a pop by is like with past clients that you pop by and give a little goodie.
Oh, okay. So somehow I got on this Facebook page that's all like creative pop buys.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, it's a creative way to say, hey, I was in the area and stopped by and thought about you. He left you a little goodie, right? Mm-hmm. So the door knocking more is marketing solicitation, which is why a lot of people have gotten away from it, because so many of the HOA communities, gated anything, they don't want any of that. And a lot of people don't want it. Plus, a lot of people aren't home during the day.
Right.
They're working or they're out doing whatever, right? So wasted efforts that way, which is why now you see the digital side of that, where it's emails and it's farming and it's all these things.
But I mean, there's something with that, because if I get hit on TikTok with an ad for something that I have absolutely no interest in at all, and then the next 9 videos are the exact same thing, but somebody else advertising it, I'm like, hey, maybe like my life would be better with that. And I buy it, and then, I use it once and then it goes away. But
7 touches, Ellie, that's what the trick is. You got to touch somebody 7 times in order to get their attention.
Yeah, well, TikTok Shop is doing it.
So I know, send you 7 times and you will finally respond and say, okay, yeah, I'll sell my house.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and again, it's just a matter of all the things that people want to do. When you're getting started in your business, you're going to try all of these things. What works for you? There are some people that are very uncomfortable in speaking like that, but you can't really be a realtor and not be comfortable in speaking to people, because that's a part of the business, right?
Yeah.
So then there's people who want to do the fancy things with open houses and really blow up the marketing for that. And some areas are cool with it.
Back to my trash Netflix realty shows. Did you watch the New York one?
Yes.
Where the girl puts on a full musical?
Yes, that was insane.
Yes.
I mean, it sold the dang thing too, I think, if I remember. It was crazy.
Yeah. Has anybody in this area ever done anything like that?
I don't know that we would have done anything like that. Now, you've got, here's where you had a person, and this is reality TV, right? But it's still, Sirhan is a legitimate company, and he's fantastic. But she was using a skill set that she had, right? So that's really what marketing is about, is dialing into what do you bring to the table, what does that particular property offer, and who's the potential buyer that's going to most be interested in it. You tap those 3 things and bring it all together, you absolutely are going to do something. I mean, people used to give me a hard time when I did twilight open houses.
What's that mean?
I was twilight hours, so 5 to 7. People are just getting home from work. Before they stop, hey, if I'm on their drive home, they may pull in and come in for the open house. And there were communities that were like, you can't do an open house at this time. What do you mean I can't do an open house at this time?
Yeah.
And now it's more common.
Yeah.
So it was always thought, well, you can only do an open house on Sunday from this time to this time. And if we see your signs out, we're going to take them. I mean, I have battled all of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And now you see that people do open houses on Saturday because guess what? People are looking at houses on Saturday too.
Yeah.
And also, I loved being able to do a combined garage sale with an open house. It gives the homeowner the opportunity to sell the things that they're trying to get rid of, declutters the house. It is great. You can
That's
advertise that stuff.
Everything is for sale.
And everything, including the house, is for sale, is my line that I used. And I would get so much traction from doing an open house combined with, it was like a thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just do what you have to do to try to bring in the people.
Yeah.
And
Have
get
you
the
seen the
exposure.
girl on TikTok that is so dry sense of humor, but it's hilarious? And she like puts the house down.
Oh, no, I haven't seen this.
So she'll be standing there and she'll be like, so you don't really want this green grass because it's a little green. You know, like I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah,
but,
stating
and
the
then-
obvious type of stuff.
And then she'll be like in a different area of the house and she'll be like, who wants a fireplace in Florida? Like, it's so funny.
Yeah.
But she's gained all of these followers and I'm sure gained clients from it.
Yeah.
Because she just has this dry sense of humor and,
Yeah,
you
there-
know,
I remember
if
there
you get
were
that.
several down in Florida, especially, again, you know, different market. One was how fast they could go through the house to give the tour. That
Oh,
was
yeah,
like
I've
his
seen that
whole,
guy
like he
too.
would run
Yeah.
through there. And one time he did a total wipeout and left it in there. And it was hysterical. Like, it's
Yeah.
really funny.
I mean, when I watch those walkthroughs of those houses, I do the 2 times speed because I'm not really trying to like slowly walk through this house with you.
yeah, okay.
But I want to see the whole house, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of tips and tricks and things that you can do. And anymore, especially because of social media, I think you get a lot more creativity to it. It is not the same old boring job, right? Mm-hmm. It is something. And if you as the agent, like, that's not my thing, I'm not dressing up in a mermaid costume for anybody to sell any property. Sorry.
Yeah.
But there are people that will do that. And if
Yeah.
that's their thing, great. If it gets them business, fantastic. You have to do what works for you
Yeah.
and what's good for the clients. You also have to understand, is your client going to be happy that you're out in the mermaid suit? Maybe not if there's a jealousy situation.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Uh-oh, here we
if
go.
you have somebody contact us through this podcast and they will sell their house with you only if you put the mermaid suit on, will you do it? One time offer, people.
No, Ellie, that would be like so. I mean, they say never,
Right.
right? So, I mean, I could imagine being in a beach location and pulling that off, but I
Yeah.
would need a tan. So,
Okay. Well,
anyway,
one time offer.
if I get that offer, I'm already feeling my face is flush. Are you kidding me? You're helping me.
Okay. So maybe I'll put the mermaid suit on.
That would be better.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, so one time offer, people, if you would like Tammy to sell your house, I will put a mermaid outfit on during the open house
Oh my
to sell
God.
it in the video.
You really might want to be careful what you wish for, you know.
And if you want a team that is super creative, contact RH2L.
We will definitely be creative.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us today on the Realty Podcast. If you enjoyed the knowledge and entertainment today, please subscribe and share with your friends. We will be embarking on a journey that bridges the gap between realtors and clients, uncovering the heart and tea of real estate.